Welcome to the Win, Learn or Draw podcast, Concord Idol edition, episode 13. It's called the Win, Learn or Draw podcast because the Tigers never lose. We either win or we learn. And on the weekend, we had a bye, which was one of the great weekends that I've had this year. So it was nice to sit back, relax, put the feet up, and not have to do any learning or any winning at that matter. Look, if you like what we're doing, follow us on Insta. Subscribe on YouTube. We are on the race to 2,005 subscribers. Why we've picked that number, you could probably figure it out.
Do we need to draw your diagram?
Probably not. We could show you a poster that said "License to Thrill," though.
Could show you that.
Could show you that.
Hell of a poster.
From 2005.
Yep.
And yeah, share any of the content that we put out, please, because we want to get that number up and up and up and get in the algorithm, or the Anthony Albanese, as we called it a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Hammy, I know you normally do a 30-second summary, or one of us does.
Yep.
You can't possibly have done one because we had the bye.
Well, I'm about to surprise you. I've got one here for a 30-second summary of my weekend enjoying the bye. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to hear it.
You got the clock?
Of course, I do.
I think if we're going to do it, we might as well do it properly. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. All right, if you want to do the 30-second review, you can do it right now.
All right, Origin weekend, 5 games of footy, a bit more relaxed approach to the weekend of footy as a fan. I nipped down to Foresters for the Panthers Knights Pooslinger at Carrington Park. If you backed under 43.5 total match points like me, you're cheering. If you backed Tammy Goodman over 3.5 pints of Guinness, you just scraped home as well. A nice relaxed way to enjoy the Tigers clash with the old foe, the bye. 2 points in the bank. We go again this Sunday, Queensland Country Bank Stadium for the Win, Learn or Draw Ladies Day 2.0. I will see you there.
28 seconds.
Hey, for the first time, I've come in under.
Wow.
Yeah,
short,
good.
sharp, succinct.
Yep.
Just like a good 30-second summary should be.
That's right. The performance against the Bay Round.
Yes.
Give us your best Bay Round, James Graham.
Yeah, it's a bit Liverpudlian, isn't it?
Bay Round.
Steven Gerrard.
That was a disgraceful decision. They've come up here to North Queensland in balaclavas and robbed them of 2 points. Give us your best in the comments below or on the Raw Emotion hotline.
Oh, we'd loved it because we got a South African impression last week.
Yeah, we did.
And now if we could get some more Northern English impressions, actually any accent that we can play on the podcast would be handy to have.
You know when to submit them, sit on them if you're thinking of doing them now. Any time that the Tigers have got a Bay Round, give us your best.
Give us a raw emotion. A raw emotion.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we've got another one in 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe four weeks.
Yes, we've got one really soon, around 15, I think. So looking forward to the accented raw emotion of that.
Can't wait.
Now, we've got a little bit to get through today.
We do.
A bit has happened in the past week.
Well, Concord Idol, Don't Touch That Dial, is coming.
Could be the biggest ever podcast-led competition that the rugby league community has seen.
That's a big call, but
don't touch the dial.
Definitely that this podcast has had.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some are giving away a Mazda BT50, but this has immortality attached to it. Could be more of a prize than a BT50, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, ask Reece.
You can't just go and buy a immortality, can you? No, you can go and buy a BT50.
You can.
But these are not as easy to come by.
No. All right. Well, let's get stuck in then, so we can rush our way to Concord Idol and talk about a couple of things that really took our made us pay attention over the weekend. Or over the past week. The set of 6, right? Number 1, tackle 1. It had to be spoken about pretty soon in this podcast, and I need to sum it up with 3 words. Galvin's a dog. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Well, we've known that for some time now, but it was made slightly more official this week, wasn't it? Well, still not even official, but it's looking more likely
still
that
not official.
It'll be made.
Galvin's a dog.
Yeah.
When I got sent that text message, I didn't know how to take it. And then I kind of understood it afterwards. The double entendre that sentence kind of speaks to.
And spoiler alert, that will be the title of today's show.
Yes. We've already discussed that in the Orange Room. We were very, very keen on that. It's crazy how these events have unfolded, right? Like we were, I genuinely thought he was going to para. There were times there where we grew our goatees, and you might notice that I've actually brought
it back.
For Fainu, for Latu.
Nice.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Goatees for Fainu. Yep.
Goatees for Fainu.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a long time there where I thought he was going to be a Parramatta Eel.
Yes.
And turns out that the Gouldfather worked up his magic.
Despite saying a couple of weeks ago, no, we're happy with what we've got. We're sweet. We're not interested at the moment.
If you listen to him again, and I think the Hello Sport boys put it up again as audio, he kind of never says no. There's one where he says, we're not entering the Lachy Galvin discussion. Mm-hmm. We wish him all the best, which is pretty line in the sand. But the rest of them, he's like, we've got juniors. We're happy with what we're doing. And then he comes out and corrects himself. And he's like, no, I thought you were talking about immediately. We, under our impression, Galvin wasn't available until 2027.
Yep.
Which, if you read between the lines, he never said, no, it's not completely off the table.
It stinks. He's been fluffing him in the media for the past 18 months.
It's horrible stuff, mate. It's actually, November 1 is when the negotiations happen, and to publicly lift this guy's profile so much that his own head, his ego grows to the amount that it has, and then he swoops in and takes him. It's pretty crook.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would completely agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
These are some of the things he's saying. Best teenager I've ever seen.
Yep.
Will be the highest paid player ever.
Yep.
Will play for Australia.
Yep.
It's basically driving this guy's price up using his voice in the media and then just undermining the rest of the competition to grab him.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
No.
And the Dogs, remember that bread not bought?
Yep.
That era where they were kind of getting stuck into the Roosters, like, come on, guys, we Brit. It's not a good look. They're a yucky club now.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because, they're absolutely flying at the moment. They're sitting on top of the ladder. And, there's no question that Lachy Galvin's going to be a superstar. He will play for us.
Sure.
Well, you'd imagine, unless there's a bit of reputational damage where, I don't know, it'll take a little while for that to shake off. We've heard that he was going to be brought into the Blues camp for potentially Game 3, and that's not going to happen now, given what's going on with the contract and all that sort of stuff.
Really?
That came out today. So he's cost himself a bit of experience in and around that group this year.
Yep.
It'll take a few years, you'd imagine, to earn the right to get back into that, earn the trust back probably of a lot of people.
From senior players especially.
Exactly.
No one carries on like that and gets away with it.
But he's going to the Dogs. They're flying. They're coming first. Why would you rock the boat to in the middle of the season? You've got a spine that's kind of working already. We've heard in the last couple of hours, Toby Sexton has now said he's leaving the club at the end of the season. He'll be out of there. Reid Marnie's been given permission to go and shop around with other clubs as of right now.
Yep.
And they're talking about where are they going to put Matt Burton? Is he going to go back to the centres? There's been chat about
Cherry and Stephen Crichton in the centres.
I know.
Very, very good
Well, there's
players.
been chat now, will they then move Crichton back to fullback? And there's been all this sort of stuff that's been kind of coming out over that's a hugely unsettling influence, right in the middle of the season when you're coming first. Second favourites to win the comp.
Yep.
And
lost 2 games in atrocious conditions, looking really good.
Yep.
They're gluing together. You can tell they're such a unified unit at the moment. That's why they're winning games. Put yourself in the shoes of Connor Tracy or Toby Sexton, who aren't they're not going to set the world on fire, right? But they're such solid players that are obviously doing their job so well. They're a team of, not superstars, but a superstar team when you put them together. And mate, if I was, and I get the disgruntlement from, and I think Marnie, they're moving him on so they can get Bailey Hayward into the 9 as well.
Yeah, about that. Yep.
I don't know. I reckon it'll derail their season, honestly. That's what I said in the group chat to the boys. I was like, this Galvin acquisition will derail the Bulldog season. Yeah. You heard it here, probably not first, but amongst some of
a lot of people saying it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how it all kind of went down. We had Fatima Yadu on the Bloke Show this morning from Code Sports.
Yep.
And she made a good point about, Critter, who's the captain of the Dogs. Very tight with guys like Luai, with guys like Taruva. He's going to get all the inside word of how it all went down over there. So it'd be interesting to see how he kind of fits in and gels with that group. But big day, very unsettling. I'm sure there'll be players and people at the Dogs who probably aren't all that happy with such disruption coming in the middle of the season when they're flying. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But it's been a pretty gross process so far.
Well, the interesting thing is, Hammy, is that I'd rather be a Tigers fan than a Bulldogs fan right now. Yeah. We've cut this this little disgruntled twerp from our side and we can move on and we've got a half waiting in the wings. Whereas they're a fan base that are like, oh, great, we've acquired this once-in-a-generation superstar, but they're coming first. It's not like they're sitting 12th or 10th and they're like, oh, we're trying to make the 8. So it's just crazy. It's rugby league at its finest.
At its absolute finest.
At its finest.
It is. But you're right. We've got a player waiting in the wings, ready to go. Looking, hot and horny today in his content back at training.
Yeah.
You know, obviously.
With a goatee as well.
Yeah, he was. Isn't that just rubbing the salt into the wounds? I'll step straight in with a goatee as well.
Yeah.
Big whoop. But he was looking because he obviously had the injured thumb, then he had the injured quad, but he was looking pretty fit and mobile in the photos that we saw go up today.
Lovely. I think if he comes back and Skelton comes back in the next few weeks, Galvin will be forgotten within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
What I will say is Sunday, 3rd of August at CommBank, that'll be a sellout. That will be remarkable scenes. It'll also be interesting to see, as you were quite rightly pointing out in the Orange Room, the reception that the Eels fans give him this week when the Dogs play the Eels.
Well, yeah, I think they're going to buy this week, and then it's after that. That's going to be very frosty because they've been absolutely blindsided and ripped off as well.
Yep.
The whole Moses thing, thought that was going to be a done deal, but obviously he doesn't even respect his cousins. So it's pretty crazy that it's all unfolded this way. And honestly, it's been at the point now where I think we can just go wipe our hands clean and go, okay, let's move on.
Yep.
And I know we were chucking out a bone to Adam Reynolds, but it doesn't sound like he's coming. But
yeah, there's a bit of chat there. Maybe.
There was a bit of chat there, but I think he's saying he's going to stay in Brizzy. So
don't need him anyway. I got Latu Fanu. So.
That's right. The great man. The greatest 19-year-old I've ever seen.
Just very quickly, I know we're coming to the end of Tackle 1 here. For the people listening on the podcast, we haven't even drawn attention to your Terrell May. We've got
I forgot I was wearing it.
Terrell Davis Morton over there wearing his bum bag, about to do a vlog.
Yo, what's up, family? I think that's what he says, something like that. Start his vlog. Yeah, I just saw it last night on television. And I thought, you were on the show as well, obviously. Not to say that you weren't one of the great moments of the show, but the bum bag, the confidence to rock a bum bag, which he might not call it that, maybe a side satchel or a front bag.
Indiana Jones had one, satchel.
Indiana Jones did have one. Nice hangover reference. It's just phenomenal. Like, I know there were a few people saying that, like, you know, who would do that? You know who would? Terrell Davis May.
Terrell Davis May. Exactly.
So good.
I didn't realise just then when I was drawing attention to it visually that he actually is in the set of 6.
Yeah.
I've jumped ahead a little bit there.
That's all right.
I don't know if you want to bump it up the batting order.
Let's call it tackle 2.
Let's call it tackle 2.
Terrell May's bum bag.
Yep. Elegant and understated, the Hello Sport boys describe it as, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it was. This is an ode to it, obviously. I don't have a bum bag myself. I'm going to go get one.
Yeah, well, you don't need to. That looks fantastic.
Does it look normal?
Fits the bill. Yeah, it does. Looks really normal. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I'm going to try it out in public and see what people say. I just thought that's a guy that's brimming with confidence, which is he's never shied away from who he is. And he's come out recently and said Benji really lets him be who he is as well. He's obviously a bit of an odd cat.
Yeah.
But in a good way. He did that video with Nathan's, who's a big Tigers fan, Nathan Lawns and Gardens.
Lawns and Gardens. Isn't he flying? 2.1 million followers on Instagram.
Mate, he is
outstanding.
A superstar.
Yeah.
He, big Tigers fan, Nathan. So he got Terrell, and Terrell, that's where he kind of cleared the air over some of his.
I mean, where else would you want to clear the air than Nathan's Lawns and Gardens Instagram page?
Well, I think someone was even saying, like, how does he get that scoop and the best journos in the game can't?
Yeah.
That tells you all you need to know.
Tells you, it's just such a different world of content, isn't it? So many people just, can get out there and they really are news platforms in their own way, aren't they? So
well, I'd love Nathan's Lawns and Gardens to join the show if he's a Tigers fan.
That'd be elite.
Imagine a collaboration to his 2.1. I'm assuming most of them are Tigers fans as well.
Well, you'd have to assume.
Well, they would once they collaborated with the Win, Learn or Draw podcast.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Yeah, I think the bum bag was a great move. You?
Oh yeah, well,
you saw it in person.
You couldn't. Yeah, I saw him in the green room, but before the show, I thought, oh yeah, sweet. Like you see him photos of him getting around in the bum bag. I was like, okay, nice. He's got that with him. I'm not 100% convinced he's going to just roll out there with it, but then he did, and I went, you know what, good on him. He went all in with the bum bag.
Do you reckon he had anything in it?
Yeah. I reckon like car keys,
phone,
probably,
wallet,
all that sort of stuff.
Wow,
yeah.
Because like, what do you do? I know I don't appear on television as much as you do. What do you do with your phone and wallet and stuff?
I just leave them in my bum bag out the back of the green room.
Okay. You don't wear it. You don't wear it. Can you wear it next
I'm not
time?
brave enough to wear it. Actually, one of the boys at Sportsbet did take a photo of me and like photoshopped a bum bag on me. Like, great look on the show. But yeah, no, it was great. He was great. It was great to see him and Appy. Appy was,
met him?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Appy was like a little bit nervous at the start because usually when I interact with him, I'd stitch him up with a question and a microphone.
True.
But I said none of that tonight. We had a good chat about obviously the game on the weekend and that I'll be heading up as well a little bit later in the week. But they were great. They were in good spirits and looking relaxed, and they obviously both enjoyed the week off.
Yes. I saw Jerome Luai and Appy were at the Star Casino.
I saw they had a meet and greet there.
Saturday
Little
night.
Cashy.
Yeah. I mean, bye week.
Yeah. What were we doing? Why weren't we down there?
Bye. I was down in Ulladulla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just
Doing
try my
a
hand.
cashy of your own.
Doing my cashy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I lost cash.
Oh no, you had your thing. What was your thing again?
It was a Bucks,
That's
but the
right.
Buck didn't know.
Yeah.
So he was dressed as Harry Potter for the.
How'd that go?
The day. It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got a bit of nice weather, lawn bowls,
Yep.
golf.
Nice.
All the things you love to do. Hey, speaking of stitching people up with a microphone in hand, well done on that Origin content.
Oh,
Cooper
thank you.
Johns, really good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was good fun. The guys were great. Got around a couple of media bands. Got to chat to
Spenny Lenny.
Spencer Lenu.
Yeah, Spenny Lenny for short.
Which is Spenny Lenny. Sorry. He was actually great as well.
Yeah, he was.
Kind of you see and you hear. You know, obviously he's a bit of a abrasive, aggressive kind of dude,
Yes.
but he was great.
Who was your favourite to talk to?
I reckon I probably almost had the most because he was just such a pleasant surprise. You know.
Yes, of course.
Obviously pretty special getting to be in the same room as like a Nathan Cleary and guys
Yeah.
like that. You know. Great to the game, and obviously Mitch Moses had a great series last year. So you know what, they were all fantastic. I got to be honest, they were all really good.
Love it.
Yep.
Tackle 3. Now, with Galvin leaving, I just thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to talk about players that the fat we're trimming this year.
Yeah.
So there are a few players that we had contracted that might have some of them even appeared in the what was the preseason content where we did the training camp.
Thrive or survive.
Yeah, I was going to say win, learn, or draw, but it wasn't that. I don't know if you've seen the 2025 West Tigers calendar as well.
Well, not until I've seen it in the run down here.
Yeah, you've seen the screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I should have put it in after.
I'll start looking at it.
But in years gone by as well, I always, and I should try and look up previous ones. I don't know where you'd find them, but always there was someone, at least one player, who'd been cut since the photos were taken.
Well, yeah,
at the start of the season.
I think the Dragons this year have got Ben Hunt on their one, for instance.
So how do they not, like, how long do these take to produce?
Yeah, they
Like,
must get him in early.
surely you
I mean,
could
you know
print
the
them.
dates a long time in advance, don't you? You can just print them whenever.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
I think you know how calendar works.
Yeah.
So John Bateman is on the 2025 Tigers calendar.
Yep.
I can't even remember him playing for the Tigers, let
No.
alone putting him on the front page. He was always at risk of leaving as well.
Yep.
They surely could have went with someone like Tony Sukkar.
Well, yeah,
He's
he was
not
never going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Justin Olam,
Yep.
obviously
Different
unfortunate,
circumstances.
medically retired,
Yep.
but he was calendar cursed as well. He
Yep.
was put on the calendar. Hopefully the other two aren't.
Yeah.
Appy Coruscant and Jerome Buller.
Yep.
I was thinking maybe you could start a Beards for Buller movement.
Beards for Buller?
I can't, but I
Yeah.
know he's Isaac Moses' player.
Yep.
So
I've pretty much ticked the box,
You've
haven't
been
I?
doing it for years. When did you first grow a beard?
I grew up. First appearance, I think, was about 2013. When I went on the Ashes tour, I followed the Ashes around Australia in 2013. Drove around in a van, and I grew it out then. So that was the first time I really
Jeez,
pushed
good
through.
Ashes to follow too.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Oh, Mitchell Johnson.
Oh yeah, on
Fire.
a tear. It was good. 5-0. It was good.
So it's a lucky beard,
Lucky beard.
but we haven't made the finals since.
No, but for the cricketers have been all right for the last
Cricketers have been good. Okay.
10 years or so.
That's good.
Yep.
Tim Johannesson.
Yep.
He big lanky prop. He actually
Yep.
debuted for us last year. Swiss.
Yep.
He is Swiss, or
He is Swiss.
I thought you were giving him a nickname.
Bit of a Swiss Army knife, bit of a
Yes.
bit of a utility, but
of
no,
all trades.
he is Swiss. So
He is Swiss.
The flag's a big plus. So.
He's he's gone to South Sydney.
Has he?
Playing Reggie. I think he's only contracted
Reggie
Reggie's,
Rabbit.
but yeah, Reggie's Rabbit. Yeah, good one. Clemmer, obviously, at St. George Illawarra at the moment.
Yes.
Good luck to him. And now Lachy Galvin. So that's top 05 players.
Top 05 players that left this year. Thanks for encroaching on my segment a bit later.
And they're all gone. So I think you can see that, the club's not taking any prisoners.
No.
In fact, they're letting them go.
Yep.
I think there was Prisoner of War Camps reference a couple of episodes ago. We've let these guys run. So it's good to see, there's some cutthroat decisions being made, and Richo can be, I guess, thanked for that, but also, he's a business.
Also blamed at the same time.
Blamed and thanked.
But two words for you, war chest. So
what are we going to do with that million that was going to go to Lachy?
The possibilities are endless. I'm sure we'll get some good stuff.
Possibilities are up to $1 million.
Well, yeah. But we even before we threw that at him, we had money to play with as well, remember?
So we've got a war chest.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
The West's war chest.
Yeah, and we probably need to spend it quickly because there's new teams coming in and stuff. So
Perth Bears are going to have something to say about that.
Yeah.
I saw Roo put together a Perth Bears realistic.
Yep. How many Tigers did he have in it? Talon De Silva would have been in there probably.
Yeah, TDS looks like he might go somewhere else if we keep Appy, which I wouldn't mind.
Yep.
Look, tackle 4.
Yep.
What do you want to talk about?
Tigers in origin squads. Now, when you read the actual squads themselves, you might go, well, there's no Tigers in the origin squad. Wrong. Adam Dewey added to the squad last week, came into camp up there in the Blue Mountains.
Can you explain that to me?
No, I can't.
I've got a theory.
Yeah, go on.
And I mentioned this to my workmates as well. So he went on with Jacob Preston.
Yep.
They also brought Cody Ramsey in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like a resilience play. Like, look at me, I'm playing first grade rugby league after 3 ACL injuries. His last ACL was 16 months out of the game.
Yep.
Obviously, he's nowhere near, well, he's closer than you or I to a Blues jersey, but he's...
Geographically, he was pretty close.
I reckon he was. But I think... And then the Cody Ramsey with his gut issues and just saying, look at the adversity we've overcome.
Yep.
I think that might be the ploy. Could be that he's one of the best goal kickers in the NRL.
Yep.
Go goal kicking training.
Doing a bit of work with Nath Cleary, giving him some tips.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, watch me. Watch me, I'm Dewey.
Yep.
But as soon as I saw
Monkey see,
that...
Monkey Dewey.
As soon as I saw that, jumped on it as a good news story of the day and shared it on the story because that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that guy deserves all the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, keep an eye on this, though. Apparently, Stephen Crichton left training today with a leg injury. So watch this space. Potentially Adam Dewey filling in come game 1 up at Suncorp.
Will he be on Toya's side? Imagine Dewey, Toya. That's how they lead.
I think Mitchell will be going firmly at Toya. And I think also Campbell Graham will come in before Dewey as well. But, regardless.
Still, he's closer than Campbell Graham.
It was a good news story.
Although Campbell Graham's in the actual 20-man squad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is a good news story.
Yeah.
No, I was glad to see Dewey there.
Good to see a Tiger in around the squad.
Yeah. Because Uto Kamanu got that a couple of years ago, and now he's actually in the squad because he plays for Melbourne, and he's not touched by the Hello Sport.
He's played way better than Terrell May this year.
Oh, yeah,
no, he's been really good. And as a Queensland fan, it terrifies me, Stefano Uto Kamanu filling in if Payne Haas isn't playing. I honestly don't know what Queensland will do if that happens.
Yeah, honestly, and sorry, Paul Crawley, but Uto Kamanu averages about 36 on Supercoach, and Terrell May averages about 85. And I don't know if you know this, Hammy, but Supercoach is based on stats.
Yeah.
And do you know what prop forwards do?
Yeah.
Accumulate stats.
They do.
Yeah. So
well, good ones do.
The good ones do. And tell you who doesn't, Stefano, you.
Yep.
Tackle 5. Yep. Possibly the most important
this is the big one.
Set.
We reserve this for the big stories.
This is huge.
And this, I think, when you think news and Tigers this week, it's very hard to go past this story. Tony Sukkar's birthday. So happy birthday to Tony Sukkar.
Happy birthday, Tony.
21 years old.
That's a big occasion too.
Huge occasion.
Imagine looking at the, being 20, right? Looking at the schedule for the year and going, oh, you're joking. We've got the bye round the week I turned 21.
Absolutely. He would have been
out of tearing.
Licking his lips. Played pretty well in his last game where he got some extended minutes. And he celebrated his birthday today by extending until the end of the 2026 season.
Brilliant.
So happy birthday, Tony Sukkar. Looking forward to many more years, many more memories with the club. A ginormous human being and a ginormous future ahead of him as well.
He does. At 21 years old, he was mentioned in my players who have to pay a surcharge on car rentals last week.
That's
right. AKA those under 25 and bright stars of the Tigers squad.
Yep.
That form he showed for that 30 minutes last week was enough for me to re-sign him as well.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
To the
so
club.
He's still got to pay a surcharge, but he can now drink and gamble in America. So
great.
there you go.
Vegas, here
He's getting closer.
Here we come.
Yep.
And then tackle 6.
Yeah.
Now, fill me in.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
I just wanted to take you back to obviously it's almost a bit of a preview, a look ahead to this week's game against the Cowboys up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. I'll be heading up for, as I mentioned, Win Learn or Draw Ladies Day 2.0. We'll be thinking of you guys up there.
Yeah, 50% attendance. Still good.
Not bad, not a bad strike rate. So we've played there 3 times. Hasn't all been peaches and cream for the West Tigers up there, unfortunately. So the last time we played there was 24th of May 2024, almost a year ago to the day. We lost 42 points to 28. The time before that was the 1st of July 2023. We learned that day 74 points to 0. And perhaps, yeah, and perhaps the most memorable game that we've had there came in 2022, Sunday the 24th of July. 27 points to 26 was the score on that day. Now, I just wanted to dig up just some of the highlights off NRL.com. I'll just play it through here for you.
Thanks.
And hopefully the people at home can at least hear the carnage of... There's 5 seconds on the clock when this happens.
Okay.
And off the upright, no goal. There's a second left.
No.
One shot at it.
Oh, it's gone half deep.
A short kick off. Goes too long, and that will be full time.
They're appealing that Caulfield got run off the ball. They can challenge
Oh,
this.
no.
They can challenge it. But he's done a pretty good job.
Comes sideways, which denies Kyle
Oh,
Phillip the
no.
opportunity. Oh, it'll be a penalty.
Who?
Holmes will have a chance to win this game.
Valentine Holmes.
He's
He
got it.
has kicked it. The Cowboys win.
Oh, my God.
The
They just showed
Cowboys
Todd
win
Payton,
by
too.
a point.
What a traitor.
27. The Tigers 26.
Oh, my God. And I believe we'd come back in the last, 5-10 minutes
Yeah.
as well. Scored
Yeah.
8-10 points.
A brave comeback, spoiled by contentious refereeing. So contentious that former chairman litigious Lee Hadjipentalis threatened legal action, or he
That's
attempted
right.
to legally get the result overturned. You know you're not going that good when you've got to resort to trying to sue the game in order to get the result.
So he was trying to go to court to get the 2 points.
Yeah. Yep.
Litigious Lee. Bring him back.
Do you want me to read through the team we had playing that day?
Well, I just saw James Tarmo.
In game 300. You'll never forget that one.
Oh, poor James.
Have a go at this 1 to 17.
Yep, please.
Dane Laurie, Brent
Yeah.
Naden, Stafford Toa, so a couple of current boys in there.
Wow.
Asu Kapoa, Ken Mamalo,
Oh, yeah.
only played 56 minutes, not sure what happened there. Adam Dewey at 6, Luke Brooks at 7. Remember
Nice.
those days?
Yeah.
James Tarmo at 8. Farmunu Brown. at
Oh,
hooker.
yeah. New Brown.
Yep. Joe Offengawe, the other prop. Luke Garner, Kelma Tuolangi, Jackson Hastings at lock.
Okay.
Fanua Pole on the bench, Zane Musgrove on the bench, Alex Seyfarth on the bench, and Tyrone Peachy on the bench as well. So some real blasts from
What
the past.
year was this? Sorry, Harry?
2022.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shows you, we've let 5 players go this year already. It shows you how keen we are in cleaning out.
that's right.
Dead
Just shows you how
weight.
quick it can go. So look, the point is not pretty reading for Tigers fans at this venue yet.
No.
However, I just wonder whether we, pun very much intended, galvanise after the events of this week.
Very good.
And get stuck into them. I know we're the outsiders again in this one, but
We love outside. We're about $3. That's
Yep.
sweet spot territory.
happy with that. So look, history's against us, but I believe we can push through this week.
Cowboys are vulnerable too, mate. They've got a couple of players out with Origin, right? Like Robson, Val Holmes. Oh,
Yep.
no, Val Holmes plays at St. George now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Sorry, I don't really pay attention to other teams.
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
Of them. He just kicked that goal. That's what.
They got a couple out though. Murray Talangi on the wing, he's out as well.
He's injured, isn't he?
Jeremiah Nene.
Yes.
Tom Dearden, a couple of guys that will have to back up there.
There you go.
So
I think we're in for a shot.
And they also got smashed by the Manly last time. And Manly are going like
there
busters
too.
at the moment. And yeah, so
Up
look,
there.
we're a chance. But anyway, that's our record there, and we've been robbed there in the past. So
Well, hopefully the Lucky Beard gets us home on Saturday night.
I'll be there.
Have you got any other plans while you're up there?
So up there for Mons, it's her birthday, and we're visiting a bit of her family as well. We're at Magnetic Island for...
Her birthday's on the Saturday that the Tigers play the Cowboys.
No, I wouldn't do that to her. No, her birthday's on Wednesday. So,
even better.
So there's another clash there.
Slightly smaller.
State of Origin. Ever heard of it? Now, look, she's not a huge rugby league fan.
From Melbourne, right?
From Melbourne.
So we can excuse her a little.
I'm trying my best to brainwash her, turn her into a Tigers. You come to a couple of games. She loved the first Ladies' Day. Hopefully she'll enjoy the second one as much as well. But I've been sort of subtly kind of, suggesting that we perhaps do a nice birthday lunch on the Wednesday rather than... she's quite keen on a birthday dinner, but lunch is an underrated meal, I find.
Lunch is the more famous one, birthday lunch, especially on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I've always said that.
The restaurants will be pumping.
So, absolutely. So, it hasn't gone down that well, but I'll report back next week.
What about an early dinner, Hammy? Like a 6 p.m.er? Or you just want to get right in the in the pre-game?
I need a bit of pre-game analysis from, James Bracey and the team and, is Gus Gould not going to do a final word? Like all these questions that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to find out the hard way.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
so anyway, happy birthday, Mon. But
good luck to you. No, happy birthday, Mon. Sorry that it had to fall on Origin 1.
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
Bad planning by you, really. So, yeah.
But Tony Sukkar has his birthday this week as well. So
yeah, as well. Share your birthday with Tony Sukkar. So you're in good company.
Gal.
You're in good company.
Lucky gal. All right, let's get stuck into... Actually, before we do you know what I want to do?
You want me to play the intro song again a little bit in the break?
Just before we do that as well, though. Let's do an ad break.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So cool?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, sweet.
Great stuff.
What do you think of that?
Really good.
A lot of different ads there.
Yep. Hitting a lot of different demos and all that sort of stuff.
Beauty of... I wonder what the CPMs they were playing.
Well, you'll have to tell me, A, what they are, and
yes.
B, how they're going.
Can't wait for the advertising gurus to get in the inbox after that. Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
Probably the biggest moment of the Win, Learn or Draw podcast thus far, episode 13. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Concord Idol.
I'll just take it a little bit away. I don't want us to get done for copyright infringement, so
Good idea.
I'll leave it down here.
So this competition, right, is to find the greatest West Tigers chantsman or woman that we've ever heard and seen. The West Tigers are a proud club, and what we want is proud chants that resonate with our fan base and with our players.
Yep.
The brief was simple. Submit your chants via audio note and go in the chance to have a shot at immortality.
Yep.
By winning Concord Idol.
Chance Nickel Cookstad.
A chance to win or a chance?
Both.
Okay. Okay, good. Now we have eight contestants.
Nice. Top 8. Haven't been there in a while.
We have 8 contestants. Yep. I believe there might even be a special 9th.
Oh, nice.
In there as well.
Ninth.
I'll reveal that.
A special place in my heart. Ninth.
Yeah, we love being 9th.
Yep.
First one is someone that is very close to immortality already.
Yeah.
He'd probably be in the Win, Learn or Draw Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I think, alongside some other big players like Thomas Backfence Brown is in the Win, Learn or Draw Hall of Fame as well.
Yep.
This is Troy Maguire. Now, famous for, and not, the way that Idol works is you don't normally give people who have already had their shot at stardom a shot.
Yep.
He came up with the Taruva chant.
Sometimes it does. Remember when Henry Olonga went on Australian Idol a couple of years ago?
Funnily enough.
Henry Olonga used to be, for those playing at home, a Zimbabwean fast bowler many moons ago. Okay. But and he famously protested, I think, in the 2003 World Cup with Andy Flower. They wore black armbands and weren't able to return to Zimbabwe, protesting the Mugabe regime at the time.
Right.
So he resettled in Australia. And a couple of years ago, he was on Australian Idol. In fact, it might have been The Voice. So, no, you're right. I'm thinking of The Voice. But anyway, the point is he went on a reality singing show many years later.
Gotcha.
So he'd had a shot at stardom in a different walk of life.
Got you.
And then he'd kind of come across.
And what's his name?
Henry Olonga.
So Troy Maguire, Henry Olonga, similar parallels.
Together at last. Yep.
Here is Troy's submission. Now, he did put 3. So, again, an Idol rule, I don't think you can have 3 auditions. Mm-hmm. He did submit 3 songs, all good in their own right. But I'm going to pick the best one, which I think might resonate. Are you ready?
Yeah. Now, Troy Maguire as well, because you just touched on former stardom, just for those playing at home, he submitted the initial Taruva chant.
Yes.
The tequila one. So he's coming off a good base. He comes from good stock, and I'm looking forward to hearing, I haven't heard these, what he's come up with for Concord Idol.
Here we go. Contestant number 1, Troy Maguire.
They're fighting news, they're a rugby league family.
Oh.
Latu and Samuela, Sione makes it 1, 2, 3. When you watch fighting news, you have a yabba dabba doo time,
Oh,
a dabba doo time. You'll have a West Tigers time.
Oh.
Latu.
I love
Okay.
the addition at the end, Wilma.
Yeah.
He's gone Latu. There you go. The Flintstones
Yep.
reimagined for the Fainu family.
Yep.
Big part of the West Tigers roster.
Yeah, 100%.
Would love to hear what you have to say, Ian Dicko Dixon.
Yep. Look, Troy, either shed some pounds or wear something more appropriate. So I like it. I like where the head was at. Some of the lyrics I feel were a little bit of a stretch. I don't think all the syllables matched what was available out of the source text.
Yes.
So I probably have to take a few points off from that.
Okay.
But I will acknowledge the Latu Wilma yell at the end. There were some nice moments there for sure. Is it going to be enough to send you to Concord? Not everybody can go to Concord. We can only get a top 3 through, I think, to Concord.
Okay, yep.
But time will tell. Not a bad start. Thank you for your submission, Troy.
Well done, Troy.
Yep.
You did have 2 other submissions as well, which maybe we can play in the Orange Room afterwards.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
But very good stuff from you. Always love your content. Please keep it coming in.
Yep.
We now have Aidan Weber with a very, very simple chant,
Sometimes the simple ones are the best, aren't they?
which you might hear August 3rd against the Canterbury Bulldogs at Combank.
Okay, yeah.
Galvin's a wanker. Galvin's a wanker. Galvin's a wanker.
Sing along if you know the words.
Do you need a lyric sheet?
Yeah, no, I actually don't for that one. Yeah, I mean, topical,
Yeah.
timely,
Harmless chant too,
harmless chant.
I think.
Yep.
Because if you heard that and you're out on the field, you'd be like, that's kind of funny.
Yep.
Very famous Australian chant too.
It is.
Here at cricket, quite
A
fair
modern
bit.
twist on an old favourite.
Yes, that's
as they
right. So that was contestant number 2.
Yeah, okay.
Any notes for that one?
No notes. I thought it was solid. I saw you had a few notes for him in the DMs
Yes.
when he sent through the initial submission.
Yeah, there was one that was a bit more crass.
Yeah.
And
You got the radio edit out of him.
yeah. So hear the original version. Hit us up and we can send it through.
Yeah. One for the patron.
So yeah, that was an interesting one from Aidan Weber.
Okay, yep.
I now have another one from Jared Higgins.
Yep.
This
Any
one's-
relation to Missy?
Yes. Correct. Yeah,
Yep.
they are. This is her brother.
Comes from good stock then.
Yep. So this one's pretty simple too,
Yeah,
which is what makes a good chant sometimes.
it does.
Terrell May. Terrell May. Terrell May.
Oh, that's good stuff. You know what? Jared Higgins, you're going to Concord.
Jared Higgins, well done.
How good.
830 followers, 1 post, no profile picture. Don't know if he exists.
Yep.
Could be a burner.
Yep.
But great stuff. Probably just need to work on the pronunciation of Terrell.
Yeah, he's kind of blended a couple of brothers together there, hasn't he?
Terrell May.
Yeah.
So
Terrell May. Still works.
still works. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was contestant 3, Jared Higgins. You might know Ryan Dougie Douglas.
Yep. Teach me how to Dougie.
He has, I wish that was his contribution, but he has submitted something that's, I think, going to put a bit of lead in your pencil, mate. It's,
Good.
It's actually quite
Been a
good.
while.
Yeah. Let's go.
Telstrad.
Oh, is this on the Telstra?
When your team gets flogged by 50 and this comes on.
Here's a little song I wrote. Might wanna sing it note for note, but don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. Every chorus has got a double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Good.
Don't worry. Be happy now.
Good.
It's pretty good.
Scored a double.
Don't worry.
What's he going to say here?
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
So, look, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It works on so many levels.
It does.
Dougie, I mean, I'm not going to say you go to Concord, but it's up to Ian Dicko Dixon over here.
Yep.
Amy Goody Goodman. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. And I like the nice touch about the tipping the hat to the double at Campbelltown College from the other week.
Yep.
Fantastic. I do worry that too much of it still is like identical to the source.
So,
for me.
not that this is The Voice, but in The Voice, they turn their chair around and they pick a singer and they say, look, we're going to work on this together to get you to superstardom.
Yep.
So I've been trying to work on a little bit of a different chant. So I want you to try and sing with me if you can.
Okay. Yep. I've got the lyrics here. Yep.
Now we do the do, but you turn it into a chant, right?
Yeah,
So, okay. Do 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 do.
Don't worry.
Do 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 do.
It's happy.
Do 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 do.
Don't worry. It's happy.
Here's a little song we wrote. It's about our hooker. He's a goat. Don't worry.
It's happy.
Come on, skipper, take a bow. We're talking about happy chorus out. Don't worry.
It's happy.
Don't worry, it's happy now.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah?
That would have been much better.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a little bit of a rewrite.
Yep.
Well done to Dougie.
Yep.
For inspiring.
Yes.
That chant, but I feel like that's got legs.
Yeah, it's got legs.
Because everyone's singing do 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 do. That's easy.
Yeah.
Those little verses is probably where you need to kind of
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I like the concept. You had to do a lot of heavy lifting there with the rewrite. With that in mind, I don't think I can send Ryan Douglas to Concord. But you know what? You're a talented guy.
Yeah.
Go away, keep working at it, come back next year. And there's no reason, I couldn't see you going to Concord in the future.
Wow, huge, Dougie.
Yeah. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, totally fair, mate.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you're hearing these for
I'm
the
the
first
dicko.
time.
So, not everyone's going to like what I kind of say with some of these, but that's what I'm feeling.
That's it. And you're dicko.
Yep.
Perfectly put.
Yep.
This next one's from Nathan James.
Yep. Two
He-
first names, bit of a red flag there.
Yeah, could be going by his middle name to
Okay,
hide
yep.
his. Maybe he's a big
Might be a
dog.
teacher.
Maybe Nathan Cleary. Have we checked his
Might be
middle
Nathan
name?
Cleary, okay.
This one's pretty good. Again, nice and simple.
Good.
But some of the best chants are.
Great.
Here's my submission to Concord Idol. Happy Sunday. And this is one that I've recited called Hey, We Want Some Pole. Sung to the tune of We Want Some Pussy, Two Live Crew. But seriously, Pole, we need you back. Hey, we want some pole. Hey, we want some pole. We want some pole.
Yep. You're going to Concord. In fact, you know what?
Oh, no way. No way.
Touchdown.
For those of you listening, please go to the YouTube channel and check out Hammy Goodman's touchdown.
Yep.
For Hey, We Want Some Pole by Nathan James. You're going to Concord, son. Yep. Well done. Means we only have one spot left.
That's good stuff. I will say the one caveat there, I think Concord's probably as far as you'll go because we've kind of heard that potentially the tequila might get rolled out at some Tigers games when Taruva scores.
Yep.
I can't see that song getting played when Pole does anything.
Let's ask Langy.
Yeah. We'll get in touch. Langy, let us know. Yeah.
Now, this next song is quite a good one because we had two submissions from two different people who don't know each other of the same song.
Yep.
Now, the lyrics are a little bit different from each, but only one of them submitted an actual audio note.
Okay. Yep.
So we're going to take that submission, which is the great man Christian Malone.
Any relation to Post?
Has to be. If he's got any musical talent, let's listen and
Yep.
find out.
Okay.
Taruva, boys. There's Abby and Benji. Ooh, I need to get down to Lachy Galvin. We'll get there fast and then we'll take 2 points. That's where we want to go. Down to Lachy Galvin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to stand up
yes.
again.
Sorry. Where are my manners?
Unbelievable. Here he goes.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Oh, man. Mark Holden and Dicko Dixon rolled into one.
That was good.
Now, this is pretty incredible because Sam Groom actually sent this one 2.5 weeks ago saying, Sunia, Taruva, ooh, I want to take you to Fanua and Bulla. Come on, pretty mama. But I think Posty's version's better.
Yep.
And it was an audio note. That's exactly the kind of stuff we were looking for when we put the call out for Concord Idol.
Yeah.
Idol. Honestly, Christian, I assume he's going.
You're going to Concord.
Oh, well done, mate.
Well, I think we're at capacity now, but
Unbelievable
if anyone bangs the door down, I will reward that. And we can have 4 in there if we need to.
So we're going to the next contestant, which it's Reese Smith.
Yeah.
Have you heard this one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the immortal on here. I don't know how we can get any higher.
Yep. How many more have we got to play?
We've got him,
Yep.
and then I've got a submission.
Oh, yep. You've got a submission. Saving the best for last, eh?
No, and then we have the best of last, which is Lachy Pringle.
Oh, yes. An actual legitimate musician.
An actual legitimate musician.
Love it.
Reese Smith.
Yep.
Hey boys, relaxing Sunday, just kicking back 2 points. Oh, it feels good. Just a quick one here though. I heard you want some chants, this, that, for the raw emotion, ROAR, that is. Just seen on the old interweb from the Rat Pack, Michael Rat Chemis fame of hates the Tigers and will not get off our dicks. Lachy Galvin to the Dogs, 3 years, could not be fucking happier. So just a quick one for Galvin, my little Galvin. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey Galvin, fuck off. The Tigers win the cup.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Unbelievable.
It's good stuff.
They might play that.
They might.
If we beat them
Yep.
at home, there's every chance they'll play that.
Very good gear, and always good to hear from our first immortal there. I do worry about the we need the radio safe version of
That's
that.
right.
So with that in mind, we'll see you around the traps a fair bit anyway.
Yep.
You're not going to Concord, but that's okay. Thank you for your submission.
But he would be going into the Big Brother house or something.
100%.
Like that's the kind.
Or the jungle. Or
The jungle.
Any of the above.
I'm in a Rortal. Get me out of
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Welcome
Very
to the
good.
jungle. Yeah, so I did have one little. I know judges don't normally do this.
Yeah, okay.
But I did have one little one that I was thinking up in the car on the drive.
Oh,
down.
yeah. Yep.
So it goes a little something like this.
Oh, great.
Polly and May, Polly and May, Polly and May, Polly and May. They're our props. And twirls our lock.
Oh, that's good.
Polly and it goes on and on like that. Do you want to have a go? No, that's all right.
No, it's
We'll move
okay.
on to
I'll
that.
leave it to you.
We might.
You're going to Concord, though. Well done.
Oh.
That's good.
Wow.
I'm not going to give you a touchdown, but that's good.
It's chanty.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Kerry Chant.
It is,
Yeah.
100%.
Thank you. So the
Good.
final.
And you thought of that on the car on the way here?
No. The car, the $1, 3.5
It's
hour
$1.
drive.
Yeah, nice. Did you guys do it at the Bucks on the weekend?
Well, I sung it at golf and I got
Went
a nod.
down? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Did a bit of focus group sort of work
Yes,
with it. Yeah,
exactly.
Nice. Tested well?
Well, like you did with the win, learn, or draw name, right?
Yeah. Go
You
take it
tested
out
that
there.
and
See
you-
how people react. Yeah, it was good.
Texted me and said, it's working.
I think we found it. I think we found the one.
it. This last submission is from our good friend of the show.
Yep.
Doing one of The best sports podcast out there at the moment,
Yep.
Plain and Simple.
Plain and simple. And check it out today. We had a real clash of the Titans. We had Matty the Border Boy, who's obviously here with us,
Yes.
producing today,
Head to Tony South here.
up against Hainsey, an absolute ornament of the rugby league content game, debating whether or not the Rabbitohs should be allowed to use Allianz Stadium as a home ground.
And is that official? They can use it?
No. It's just like a bit of a talking point at the
hearsay.
moment.
What do you think?
I think yes. I think more footy at that ground, the better.
100%.
Yeah.
As Surrey Hills resident, that is
Yeah.
definitely what we
Whatever's
want.
convenient for me, I will vote for. So, yep.
All right, final submission of Concord Idol. Thank you so much to everyone that submitted chants and songs. This is some beautiful stuff. Look, it does go for 2 minutes, but you will be on the edge of your seat for the entire 2 minutes. So let's go.
Listeners at home, you're entitled to your whole seat, but for the next 2 minutes, you'll only need the edge of it. So,
Okay, anytime now.
it's actually got pop-up music.
Goes out to all the students of the game. But just when you think you've learned every lesson you need to learn, they go and teach you another one. Took myself to the ninth wonder tonight, as Tigers members do. It's been so long since our last finals game. Had our hopes crushed by Chris Ninu. 17 men and not the Tigers, I know. They're faster and stronger too. We signed Jerome Luai and Terrell May. There's nothing else we can possibly do. Yet still we learn for you. What am I gonna do? Learn for you.
It's so beautiful.
Because West Tigers never lose. I just long to sing
Nice.
that Wiggles song. Get the claws out once more. Campbelltown College strikes again. These lessons we've learned them before. Yeah, we learn for you. Orange, white, and black, but I'm feeling blue. Learn for you. At least West Tigers never lose. Drown my sorrows with all 5 highlights. Waka noodles across the sleeve. But it's time to move on. Cause in 2025, we're heading for the top 16.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
But now, we must still just learn for you. And use all these lessons to maybe do a bit less learning for you. And a win would be nice, but we can't always win, so we'll just learn for you. No way we're gonna be claiming a 4th straight wooden spoon. We'll just win, learn, or draw for you.
Wow.
Oh,
Are you crying?
yeah. Not a dry eye in the house. Or dry seat in the house as
Not a
well.
dry
Very.
seat in the
You know what? I've done a couple, but
Oh.
this is one that deserves it the most.
He's doing it. He's just getting the mic.
Touchdown. Lachy Pringle, well deserved. You're going to Concord.
Unbelievable
Wow.
stuff.
We're taking 4 to Concord. How
Yeah.
good? Top 4.
Top 4. So well done to the 4 of you.
I think I know who's probably going to go all the way, but well done to everybody else anyway.
That wraps up Concord Idol.
Wow, that was exceptional.
Yeah, some really good stuff from some
He
really
is a
good
talented
people.
guy. Obviously, he's the ground announcer at your Tigers games at the moment. But I've heard a lot about the musical kind of abilities, and he's in a band and a few other things as well. But I've
Yes.
never kind of experienced it in full flight. But outstanding.
He's a bit Adam Dewey-esque, just triple threat.
Yeah.
Can kick goals, can
Great point.
tackle, and can go to an Origin squad and talk about resilience.
Yep, 100%.
So, Lachy Pringle,
back him
thank
in.
you so much for that. That is honestly one of the great things I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
First time you've heard it.
First time.
I heard it once before.
Yep.
Really, really amazing stuff. Speaking of amazing stuff, Hammy.
Yep. Oh, well, just to reiterate, Jared Higgins,
Oh, yes.
you're going to Concord. You're going to Concord, Mort. Well done. Nathan James, for We Want Some Pole. You're going to Concord. And Christian Malone. So we've got 5 going to Concord.
5 going to Concord.
Christian Malone.
You know what? If you only want 4, I'm happy to give up my
Yeah.
spot.
All right, you're out. And Lachy Pringle, to bring us home, is also going to Concord. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I know we have got... Oh, we've probably got to take another break, haven't we?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah?
Is that all right?
That's fine, mate.
Okay,
That's all
let's
good.
do it. Okay, sweet. Thanks for that.
Pleasure. Now I know we've got more. We have got a top 05 here on the rundown. I just
Yes.
wonder whether, like, have we possibly peaked there for this week with what we just kind of experienced?
We probably should review the North Queensland game.
Yeah, we can definitely
Or-
do that. I did have a top 05, but do you think it's worth just sitting? It's not going to top what we just.
It's a good point.
Heard.
It's a buy round.
Yeah.
It's a buy round as a Concord Idol episode.
I can do a bit of hooking and teasing though, if you want to know
Let's
what you're
tease.
Yeah,
Let's tease.
So next week on the show, you'll be. I'll be counting down my top 05 West Tigers wingers that you haven't thought about in a while.
Oh, brilliant.
It's
if
a
you have
stack
any
list.
thoughts
Yeah.
on who it might be,
Yep.
shoot it through.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Anyone you'd like reviewed, let us know. But it's a stacked list and it's a real trip down memory lane. It's got some good stuff in there.
I can't wait to hear it.
5 like stalwarts, well, not stalwarts, but very memorable.
Like you would remember, you've almost forgotten about them,
Yeah,
but they're still in your memory somewhere.
correct. 100%.
That's like every West Tigers player that's ever
Some, yeah,
pulled on the jersey.
that's right. Some more than others, but it's going to be a hell of a countdown. So yes. One thing I did neglect to say, just on the Concord Idol submissions there, I mean, outstanding stuff. We had 9 or 10 fantastic contestants. I was a little bit, it felt like there was something missing to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A big presence around the show.
Absolutely.
Tom Backfence Brown. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, he's done a lot of travel this year. He went into Melbourne. He's done a lot of stuff, but maybe he's just enjoying a well-earned rest as well.
Yep.
But would love to have heard what because I think he sung for us. He has sung for us. Him and his
He's
brothers.
got a really good voice.
So they sung in the
Yeah.
past. They had a good song for
Yep.
us. But yeah, just felt that was missing. So I hope
He-
everything's all good.
He's content
Backfence
king for
He is.
win, learn or draw.
Yep.
Like I said, definite Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Very, very, very close to immortality. I would say.
Banging on the door.
Maybe the
almost,
next few weeks.
almost tough to ignore. I mean,
Yeah.
particularly his work, which we touched on last week, the Waka Noodles
Honestly.
memes that he was sending, the Simpsons ones. Very, very good stuff.
You might like to hear this too. Nathan James, who submitted the "Hey, we want some pole chant."
Yep.
Texted us after it and said, "Also, I was meaning to message you. I was at Melbourne game the other week, and shit you not, heard some say barge chants from the Browns.
Oh, how good.
It's a movement.
Yeah,
So
it is.
They're doing the Lord's work up and down the coast of Australia.
Yep.
Honestly, Backfence, you were sorely missed. If you want to do a retrospective Concord Idol submission,
We'd love to hear it. We'll make one allowed. Everyone else, like we've probably reached our peak for them for this year, but we'd love to hear from Backfence Brown as well.
Backfence Brown, we'd love to hear it.
Yep.
So, how are you feeling about this weekend?
Yeah, well, I'm feeling good. Looking forward to being there. That'll be exciting. I'm going to get to a lot of games in the next 6 weeks or so. There's a lot that are kind of like we were talking about in the Orange Room, a lot that are going to marry up with the calendar. But
Yes.
I feel like there's a bit of history to be made here. First win at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Obviously, I have to wait for the teams to come out, but we're unaffected by Origin. A lot of people with an axe to grind. Big distraction will not be hanging over us anymore now that Locky's moved on. The teams are going to be interesting. If Latu Finu's back in, I'm really keen if he can just get back in there and just for us to start to get humming with this new combo. We'll have to see how that kind of settles and whether or not he's ready to come back yet.
Yep.
But I just feel like they'll have a real bee in their bonnet this week after what's gone on in the last week and now that it's behind them. But I'm confident that there's and we needed the bye as well. I think you could really see the boys start to drop off a little bit after they're exhausted. 11 weeks on the trot.
Knackered, yeah.
A lot of other teams that had buys. I'm quietly confident going up to Townsville.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And there's a possible inclusion of Terrell Skelton as
Yep.
well, which would ultimately make Charlie Staines pretty unlucky because he's played well over the last 3 games.
Yep.
He's really dug in, as we kind of touched on last week. That back three really went hard.
Yep.
Samuel Afinu, I guess there might be an injury cloud over him. He looked pretty crook when he tried to play the ball, but Tony Sukkar came on and played a role perfectly.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it could be a big week for Tony.
Yep.
Signing a contract, having a birthday, winning a game up at Queensland Country Bank.
Yep.
I guess the other thing, and a question for you, and would you make any changes to the team?
I guess it's just going to depend if those guys are fit and healthy and ready to come back. I want Skelton and Finu in that team as quick as I can get them back in, to be completely honest with you. So those would be the two for me.
Wonder if they pick TDS again, because obviously he asked Appy to play 80 on the weekend. Appy had his best game in 18 months.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you asked him to. They played Brenton Aiden at 14 was a bit of a head scratcher for me.
A big head scratcher.
I wouldn't mind maybe, that might be the other change, TDS. Especially up there in those conditions, you might need to give Appy a bit of a chop out.
Yep.
Hot and sticky and so forth.
Also, a good sign that a bank can't really be an educational institution. So very, very low chance of learning there.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, banks are going very much out of fashion. Online banking is the way forward. So if we're going to Queensland Country Bank, which, no offence to Queensland or the country, but doesn't sound like a really good learning institution.
Yeah.
So I feel like we'll go out there and get a win.
Hopefully we can rob the bank on the weekend, eh?
Rob the bank. Balaclavas.
Yeah.
You want to do that again? Because that was really good.
Just go back to the start of the show. And I think once was enough for that one.
No, I like our chances too, mate. $2.90. You know what I really like? 1 to 12.
Yeah?
Yeah.
13 plus, 725, not bad.
725, 13 plus. Luai, really interested to see how he goes.
Yep.
I feel like he dipped off a little bit after the Dragons game, but I feel like a bye will recharge him and he's going to have a blinder.
Agree. Sorry, he's installed a sauna in his backyard, Jerome Luai.
To get ready for Queensland.
Yeah, and he was sitting in it earlier today. So if I was a North Queensland fan, I'd be pretty nervous about how that's going to unfold.
There's the scoop. Let's end on a chant. Hey, we want some pot.
Ole, hey.
Let's end how we normally end.
Yep.
Hammy, top 16.
Here we come.